He told me that if I was going to work at Hooters, he was going to break up with me because Hooters was training for strippers. The funny thing is, this was before I ever even thought about being a stripper, and I never thought I would. But he's telling me this. I'm 17, he's 19, already with 2 kids. But you're the one cheated on me 2 times. Today, this is business tips I learned as a Hooters girl. So when I first started working for Hooters, I was only 17 years old, and it was my first year at Georgia State, okay? So I was 17 as a freshman, and I really wanted to be a Hooters girl, but you had to be 18 to wear the orange shorts. But they liked me, so they said you could be the to-go order girl. At 17 in my first year, I was dating this Cuban guy at the time. He told me that if I was going to work at Hooters, he was going to break up with me because Hooters was training for strippers. The funny thing is, this was before I ever even thought about being a stripper, and I never thought I would. But he's telling me this. I'm 17, he's 19, already with 2 kids. But you're the one cheated on me 2 times. We was in high school. In addition, I worked at like 4 or 5 different Hooters locations. I started out in Atlanta, Georgia, the flagship location. Then after that, where did I go? Hooters of Spokane, Washington, Spokane Valley. That one was cool. The girls I didn't fit in there. I was the only black girl, but it was just not a diverse culture in Spokane, Washington. I was probably the only black girl in the whole city, child. That was the big location. What they have over there? It was a casino, girl. Yes. So I got to work at the Hooters casino. Hooters was really a heyday brand. Hooters, what are you doing? I know. It's because you didn't hire girls like me for corporate. That's the problem. I could keep you. See, if it was up to me, I would have had a Hooters OnlyFans collab where it was just all Hooters girl OnlyFans TV doing things like showing you how to debone wings and, hula hoop and tricks. I got hula hoop tricks. I'll show y'all. Don't play with me. You really can't touch this. So I learned so much. The very first thing they teach you about Hooters is that looks matter, obviously. That's the first thing you learn is, they only hire pretty girls with big boobs. You don't have to have boobs. Something will pay along the way. So I actually used my tax return one year to pay for my boobs, but I got the tax return from Hooters. There is levels to hairstyles. Back in the day when I worked at Hooters, you could not wear your hair up in a ponytail like this. It had to be down, styled with heat tools. Everybody knows about that because there was actually a Hooters lawsuit about hair. So now you can wear braids, ponytails, pretty much whatever you want. They're tired of getting sued over hair, child. I'll never forget the first time I was sent home for having the wet look. And, just like water and gel in my hair. They were like, this is not a hairstyle. And I was like, yes, it is. Now, in retrospect, of course it's a hairstyle. And they could have been sued just for that instance. But I'm glad that she sent me home because remember, in Atlanta, I had an all-black staff. So the management, her name was Jessica, Jessica Elaine. She didn't play no fucking games. She kind of hated me. But at the same time, I could tell, she respected a bad bitch. So I'll never forget the day Jessica sent me home for my wet look hair. After that, it was on and popping. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was silk pressed out every day with a red lip and a wing tip. Okay, I was really in there after that. It only took one time to mess with my money to know, I'm not messing with this again. So thank you, Jessica, for sending me home. Some people are so crazy. They will literally allow their money to be played with because they don't want to follow the rules or because they're stubborn. Do not allow nobody or no thing, especially petty stuff, to dictate your money. Don't do that, girl. Next thing I learned from Hooters is that small gestures for a man actually go really far. Hooters taught me little things such as deboning wings and refilling the beer. Now you may think that's just service, but I don't know. Have you ever been to another place where the girl sat down and took the meat off the bones for you? That's a Hooters exclusive. There was a whole entire training process of things that men like, very small things. A slight touch of the shoulder. How are you doing? You okay? Little things that really make a big deal in increasing your check total. If you're in the hospitality industry, write this down. That book really taught me how to treat your section as your business. Before you read that book, you're like, well, I guess I'm gonna just go work at Hooters. I hope I make some money. After you read that book, because child, they make you read that book in training. After you read that book, you're trying to figure out how can I market stuff. You buying candies for your tables. You buying chocolates and mints for your tables. So now I'm working at Hooters, treating my section. I don't even have a section at 17. I'm taking to-go orders. I'm taking the to-go orders like this is my business. Like I'm running this over here because I am. So each girl had a sense of pride over her section, and that gives a sense of autonomy. And that extra initiative is a really big deal because you go from, oh, just showing up and like doing your makeup in the dressing room to now you show up, makeup already done. You know, you have a Pilates trainer. You've got your mints and stuff for at the end with the bill. You've learned new songs and new jokes. You brought Uno cards. You're truly taking initiative to entertain and keep attentive to your customers. Hooters was really elite for that. There's no other restaurant. There's no others. Although there have been people who want to copycat, they'll never touch the attentiveness, okay, and the training of the Hooters girl. We went from 7 steps of service to 12 steps of service to 14 steps of service. I don't even know some fine dining places that do over, 7 steps of service. Oh, if you a Hooters girl, everybody should know 2 bites, 2 minutes. Some girlies was putting their watches on timers for 2 minutes for a table. I'll come back and check on you in 2 minutes. For real, I just set the timer. And that's why Hooters girls would make anything between $150 to $600 a night, which at that point is like stripper money. It's because they're treating their job like a business. I would definitely go back to Hooters to work for corporate 1,000%. Hooters, if you ever want to rebirth, rebrand, really just pop out on hoes, you need to hire me. I used to be the regional trainer for 2 different areas because I worked at Hooters Casino in Spokane Valley. I worked at Hooters of Biloxi. That was my favorite location. We had crawfish there. Atlanta. I tried to work at Hooters of Burbank when I first moved back to LA, but they didn't hire me. And I really thought it had something to do with me being Black because I did walk in and I saw no diversity. In fact, I didn't even see age diversity. I just saw a bunch of women who looked like they were in their mid to late 30s, but I'm like, where's all the spring chickens? That's what men like, spring chickens. There are a few corporations I would absolutely die to work for. Hooters is one of them. I would absolutely go back to Hooters. I have a lot of pride and they taught me a lot. Honestly, I wouldn't be where I am today without Hooters. I would still be wearing a side ponytail with swoopy baby hairs down the side of my face. They really taught me what a classy lady should look like, from the hair to the makeup to how you carry yourself. A lot of people don't know this, but when you leave Hooters, you cannot leave in those orange shorts. They make you put your clothes back on. No, you will not leave with those cheeks hanging out. Put some real clothes on. Put some street clothes on. So there's this etiquette, and people sleep on Hooters and women-led industries like that because they think, oh, well, women are just using their sexuality. It's not just the sexuality. It's also the innate nurturingness of a woman. That's why the shoulder rub across, oh, you doing okay? You need another beer? That's why the women are making a lot more in tips than the average Applebee's person, than the Texas Roadhouse worker. They're not doing those things that contribute to the human psychology of making somebody feel at home. There's so many things that Hooters tried and failed, but they didn't really pivot. For example, Hooters Hotel, Hooters Airlines. The only thing that really worked for them was the restaurant, the calendar, and like the golf events. But there's so many other adjacent things. Okay, hear me out. If expanding and trying to do some sort of integration never worked out for Hooters, what if the answer was always to zoom in instead of zoom out? So the best thing about Hooters is the wings and the hot girls. Maybe we should just do wings and girls. Not even a big restaurant. Think Hooters Express. Imagine a drive-through, kind of like Dutch Bros or one of those pop-up coffee stands, but with Hooters girls. And there's only wings and fries on the menu. Simplified menu items, only the best sellers, kind of like In-N-Out. Always a line wrapped around the building because they've always stuck to their core. I have lunch with my friend today, and then after I got invited to a party, a Lonely Bands agency party. I'm not a part of this agency. I'm not a part of any agency. Sometimes I wish I was, so I wouldn't have to talk to my fans. My other friend, though, she got invited, so she was like, girl, you want to go with me? And I was like, fuck yeah. I never resist a moment to pull up, in uniform. I wish I had a Hooters girl outfit. That would be so much fun to go as a Hooters girl. But I don't have any more Hooters outfits. I gave those away a long time ago. So we going in today with the Adriana Nicole I Am Everything palette. This was the original. I also have the I Am Luxurious palette. This is like all neutrals, but this one is like super colorful, and I love the green and ethereal, the purple. So I don't know. We doing the two that have like, you can see the pan. Which one? This right here? This color is everything. And that's why it's in the palette that say I am everything, because baby, you really are. So I'm gonna use my ring finger to just slowly work it up. That's the thing with any of these soft glitter shadows. You want to start on your lid and then slowly just blend it up with that finger into the crease. Don't go up any higher than the crease, because child, you're gonna be lost. See how beautiful that looks? Let's do the other one real quick, and then we need to head out. Nadia is going to be waiting at Granville in West Hollywood for us. So crazy, because she invited me, right? And she was like, what are you doing on Saturday? I hate when people ask me what I'm doing. Just tell me what the plans are so I can figure out if I want to come or not. Because if I say I'm not doing nothing, and then you give me some lame ass plans, I got to come up with a reason why I cannot do that. So she's like, you want to go to lunch? I promise, because last couple of times she wanted me to help her start an Amazon store. So this time she was like, I promise I don't need anything. I just want to go to lunch with you. And I was like, oh, okay, well, absolutely. So now we're going to lunch. And that made me feel good, because I'm like, damn, a real friend. Somebody that doesn't want anything from me today except just to kiki across the table. That's what I need. I have so many people like that in Bali, but nobody like that in LA. I feel like they always want something in exchange. So we're going to meet Nadia at Granville in just a few minutes after we put my eyeliner on, everything on. I'll never forget my first time as head waitress. Now, if you've never been in the hospitality industry, head waitress is basically the boss bitch in charge, okay? So that's the person who decides who gets what nighttime duties. They got all the power. They can make your job easy or they can make your job hard. And so the first time I was head waitress, and there's this section at Hooters in Atlanta called the Fishbowl. The Fishbowl was literally all the big tables right by the window where everybody could watch the game. And so I always wanted the fishbowl so bad, but I had never been head waitress. So I'm like, damn, when I'm head waitress, they're going to give me the fishbowl. I'm going to knock it out the park. Sure enough, I did. And someone at the end of the night, I think it was Courtney from Hooters on Peachtree, was like, oh, Nina, you did a good job. That positive reinforcement meant so much to me. And then that actually taught me a lot about just leadership. You go really far as a leader when you give people positive reinforcement, tell people how good they did. And I learned that the first time as head waitress. I was like, damn, I'm a good head bitch in charge. Period. I believe we are in focus. So this is the final look, you guys. I hope it lasts all day and all night, because I'm gonna need it to. Also, it's 12:22 and the reservation's at 12:30 and it's 30 minutes away. So if you enjoyed this video of all the things I learned from working at Hooters, business and non-business, just life lessons in general, please make sure you comment and let me know what other business lessons you think I should share next. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Man.